Hey yo, I usually don't have an intro. I'm not like Martin or nothing where it's like, "What's up?" or nothing like that. So, hey y'all, this is another episode of A Let's Find Out. I'm your host, Arnold, and today I have with me a special guest, um, Natasha Kennedy.
Woo woo.
Natasha is a mother, a doula, and I'll get into that later. Lactation educator, advanced practice esthetician, massage therapist, aesthetic injector, holistic nutrition, and a nursing student. So she's basically in school right now. We're taking away from her time right now. And I would like to introduce Natasha Kennedy.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
So, what I really want to talk about with Natasha today, my main interest is being a doula. So, can you expand on what being a doula is? And then when I say doula, for people that's listening, it's not Abdullah like Middle Eastern. It's just doula.
Just a doula,
a
birth
birth
worker.
worker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a doula is someone that helps encourage a birthing person to advocate for themselves. I'm there to support you and your spouse. I'm there to support the child that you're making and that's going to come to life. And I'm really there to help you make the decisions for yourself and to be able to advocate for yourself during labor, while you are having that child, going through the process. Even before having a baby, some people will hire a doula just to figure out the process, how they want to take things. Do you want to have a baby at a hospital? Do you want to have a baby at home? Do you want a midwife? Do you want a doctor? There's lots of different things that a doula can do for you as a birthing person and with your partner or spouse.
Okay. I don't want to get off subject or nothing like that. So I want to make sure I stay on what we're talking about. So, being a doula, right? Do you ever get tired of it? Because I'm a dad, right?
Right.
And my son's mom got on my last nerves. Like when I take that was so being that and having to work with other people's children, is it just ever like fuck them kids?
No, because you're not really working with the children. You're working with the parents.
I know.
No.
So it's you never get that feeling where
No.
It's well, I guess it's different for you because you are a woman, so
Right.
you know those. The moods
I know
that they
the
have.
mood swings.
You have children of your own.
Right.
You have seven kids.
Yes.
How's the oldest kid?
My oldest is 22, okay, and my youngest is 2.
See, yeah. So that's how you can deal with it. See,
right.
I've never been outside of the spectrum to know. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my only dealing with a pregnant woman, other than my sisters. I'm the youngest, so my mom was never pregnant with other kids.
Right.
It's overbearing for a male.
Mm-hmm.
Like dealing with a pregnant woman, like the only bright side that gets men through it, dealing with the pregnant woman, is the encouragement that that's your child. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
just imagine how we feel.
I don't know. See, see, I'm like,
because we're going through it. We don't. You feel, but as a pregnant woman, you honestly feel like you have no control over your hormones, your body, your emotions, all these things that you're going through. And that's also what a doula can help a partner realize, is all these changes that a woman's going through. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot for both people, which most people obviously focus on the mother, mm-hmm, but it's a lot for the partner, the father, it's a lot to do as well.
The craziest thing is so my son's mom, when she was pregnant, I mean all 9 months, right? She was very horny the whole time.
Well, that happens because our vaginas are getting new fluids and things going on down there, and when it's wet, it's ready sometimes, and that's just what happens.
At the beginning, in my mind, I'm like, how I felt about it to begin with.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool. Because the baby don't show.
Oh, it starts kicking, freaked you out?
So when the baby starts to get to a certain age point,
right,
in my mind, I'm like, am I going to damage him?
No.
Like, am I going to?
No dick is that big.
I'm just saying.
I'm just keeping it real, people. You're not gonna hurt the head. You're not gonna dent it. You're not gonna do anything to
Well, when my
it.
son came out, he had like a cone head. I literally, I had to ask the doctor. I'm like, is his head gonna stay like that? And she like, no, like you just.
That's from the pressure of coming out and not just flying out. That's from the pelvic bone.
Well, glad that you let me know that. That was like that's that was one of my big things of like being in the. I was in. How long was she? She was in labor for days.
That's awful.
Basically almost a day, and I fell asleep. Her mom actually took over for me. I had to work the next day, and that's one of the biggest. It was weird. Let's just say that giving birth is awkward. Like
Giving
period.
birth is beautiful, but it can be awkward and it can be very hard. Some people have babies in 15 minutes. Some people have babies in 15 days. It can be hard. Go to the hospital, come back. That's why a lot of people like the option of being at home.
Okay, and then to be a doula, you don't only have to be a woman, right? You could.
No, anybody can be a doula.
Okay.
I just read an article this morning that it was a beautiful story. A mother and a daughter. The daughter was 10 years old, and they both went to get to doula class. And the 10-year-old daughter was the mother's doula and delivered that baby. The little scary. The mother never went to get to the clinic. Nothing. She didn't want anything to do with doctors, so everything was done at home
For a 10-year-old.
with the 10-year-old.
See, and
Which is
my
scary.
Son was 24. My son's 6 now, so I'm 30. Yeah, so I was like 24. Mm-hmm. I still can. That's impressive.
Right.
But that's just because women.
We are natural. It's a natural thing.
Nurturers. Y'all very nurturing. Unless you just like some kind of thought out here and you just don't know how to operate in the world. But the reason why being a doula was one of the things that I thought was important to me is because the mortality rate of women of color.
Right.
So I like. Can you expand on that? Like,
Yeah. So that is the reason I became a doula. I had seen a lot of research and a lot of like different news reports and stuff about African American women dying.
Right.
And the number one complaint was the doctors weren't listening to us. And then I saw a report that came out, I believe it was Harvard, don't like quote me on it, but they asked student doctors if they thought that black people were thicker skinned.
Yeah.
And they thought our skin was
more
thicker.
Acceptable to pain or
more
something like
acceptable
that.
to all these are people that have gone to school. They know the science, they know the thickness of skin. And they, for some reason, educated people thought that our skin could take more than someone else. So what does that tell you? So
they're stupid.
Stupid.
They need a lot more.
It's biased without even realizing that it is. So I had my son December 1st of 2019, and I've already had 6 children. This is my 7th child. I was not worried about it. I did not have drugs or anything like that. I was doing it naturally. At one point, it came to, you're either going to have to, I was not dilating far enough. So it was either, we're going to have to give you a C-section, or you can try and do an epidural. So I was like, okay, I weighed my options. I'm like, okay, I'd rather at least try to get the epidural, see if I can have the baby. Well, I had him within 4 minutes of the epidural. So my uterus didn't get a chance to, get that break and start to contract, which is what helps you from not hemorrhaging. Well, my doctor left. My baby came out. My doctor looked and she was like, oh, you're doing great. The nurses are here. You'll be fine. I'm like, just sitting there and I'm hemorrhaging. And the nurse is looking at me with tears in her eyes and she's like, I can't believe your doctor just left. And I said, well, go get another doctor then. So she went and got another doctor. The doctor was about to retire. She looked about 98 years old. She was about a 75
Betty White.
pound. No,
Yeah, Betty White.
She was more fragile. I wish it was Betty White. She was more fragile than Betty White. She was maybe 87 pounds, and she's sitting here pressing on my body trying to save me. And I looked at her dead in her face, and I said, go, just take me to the surgery and take my uterus out. I got 7 healthy children. I'm not going to sit here with you, and I'm not going to die in front of my children, because I think the birthing process is beautiful, so all my children are in the room. My guy's in the room at the time. He had watched his wife die 4 years previously, so I was not going to have him watch me die. So I asked all my kids to get out of the room and him. So it was scary. I thought I was going to die. This lady she can't help me. The nurse is in tears because she can't believe my doctor left. They eventually, after an hour and 10 minutes, got me to stop bleeding. Um, I did not need a blood transfusion, thankfully, because I wouldn't have probably wanted to take it. And then I finally got to see my child, and I look at my son, and his nails were 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 white, but his nail bed was white, and his skin was white, but my son's inside of his fingers were blue. And I
No.
took one look at him. I said, "My son's not okay." They're, "Oh no, he's fine." I said, "No, my son's not okay." "Oh, he's good." I will get out of this bed. My son's not okay. So finally, a nurse heard me because I was gonna get up and I couldn't even move my legs. And they came back, and my son had pulmonary stenosis and was sent to ICU or
So is that
NICU.
like
So his
circulation is
Yep.
bad?
So
Okay.
his valve, his pulmonary valve, had no. It wasn't big enough to produce the right blood. So his blood was going in circles. He wasn't getting enough oxygen to his brain. It was a miracle that my son was okay.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of women of color aren't more informed on that. Like that, the mortality rate is very. Would it be high? Like the mortality rate would be high, meaning more deaths
Right.
to women of color because they don't take special care or they don't listen.
Right. And the scariest part is it's in this country.
Right.
So, in countries where they don't even have anything close to our type of technology or the resources, women of color are okay. They're not dying like this. Here, where we're supposed to have all this wonderful technology and these doctors and all these resources and education, we're dying because we don't have resources that we should. We don't have the education that these young women should have. And even women my age, I didn't know that I could have had my child at my home. I couldn't have because it was number 7, but I didn't know that at number 1. So there's certain things that we are not taught. We naturally think, oh, we have a baby, we go to the hospital. But really, that should probably be our last option and our last thought
Yeah.
because that's not how it was
That's not
intended.
how it never was back in the day. And well, we in a country where the only thing they teach you about black people is slavery.
Right,
So as far as if you're an uneducated black person, all you really know is we
right,
came here on slave ships, and we were slaves, and then we got out of that, so all that stuff.
right,
But just imagine if you're an uneducated white person, they slaves, they can take it. They
right,
used to be slaves, so they don't understand the human aspect of having children,
right,
or just being a human.
right.
They treat you differently because the education that they have on the type of person that you are.
And even as slaves, we were helping them birth their babies
Right, and
and
breastfeeding,
nursing their
and yeah,
children and being the mother and the nurturer to their children.
right, and yeah, but like black women were breastfeeding white people's like the slave masters' kids.
And our babies would die from starvation. Some of the
Right,
babies would die.
I even know about like from men working in the fields not being fed that the black women would
Breastfeed them.
breastfeed the man. So you want to expand on like the importance of like breastfeeding?
Breastfeeding is so important, and we have to break that cycle of thinking that it's disgusting and that it's not right and that it's something they've tried to turn it into something that's almost perverted when it comes to a black woman because they always want to sexualize us. Because even, I mean, let's be real, a 10-year-old little black girl and a 10-year-old white girl might not necessarily look the
The same,
same.
right?
We sometimes develop quicker, we have more curves and all these different things. But in all reality, we've allowed them to take something from us because breastfeeding our babies, they took that from us in those times. And we need to take that back because we are the least amount of people that nurse our babies with the highest mortality rate. And if we were nursing our babies, we would have a lower mortality rate for our infants because it is so, it's not only is it nurturing emotionally, but it's nutritious. And there's all of these different studies that show a baby that is nursed by his mother, the, the intelligence rate, the
Immune
immune
system, yeah.
system, anxiety, all these different things. I nursed all 7 of my babies. It was not easy by any means, but I wanted to break that and heal that trauma that we've had from being milkmaids. I mean, literally, our babies died from starvation. Some babies
Yeah,
did.
like yeah, from way in the beginning. That
Yeah, I mean, but that's trauma, and you carry that on, and then here's formula. Feed your babies this. this is easier for you. Feed your babies this. Oh, hang on, we're going to give it to you for free. Feed your babies this.
And
Instead of educating women as simple as take out your breasts and put your baby
just
close
feed
to
'em.
you
Right.
and feed your child. Fed is best. I'm not anti feeding a baby. Fed is best. Of course, I want babies fed. There's a lot of reasons that women can't breastfeed. But if you can, I want to encourage you to do so. I was 17. I didn't want to, I didn't even know, to be honest. I was that young black woman that didn't know. And so when the nurse came in and she said, are you going to give your baby formula or are you going to breastfeed? And I said, what's that? And she said, there's milk in your breast and you can feed your baby. And I was like, oh, well, that's a no. Like, why wouldn't I?
For the free. It's
What?
free.
What? I just said, put them there. Yes, done. And it was beautiful. I mean, I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night, just roll over, here you go. It was a beautiful thing, though. And I was 17 years old, and I knew that.
Yeah. My thing about breastfeeding, I don't understand why people have a problem with it. If you have a child, first off, being on the woman's part, is I'm thinking, if you have a child, then you understand what this woman is doing.
Right.
Right? But as a man, what is your issue with this woman's titty being out?
I have no idea. 'Cause
Like,
I would hope that
why-
every man has seen a titty.
Right, like why are you disputing it? Whether you look at it pervertively or you're understanding that she's feeding her child, how is it that you have an issue with this woman's breast being like? It can't be because the other children are in the room, because this is how some of them are fed also.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. Like, there's no way I think it's just always they have to have something wrong with something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll never forget one time we were at the Mall of America and I was at Ruby Tuesdays when they had it there and I was nursing my son and he refused to keep my blanket over my chest, which I did try to cover it, to be modest or whatever, but he wouldn't keep it on. So I'm like, fuck it. He doesn't want it on. He's eating like everybody else here.
Everybody else in the room.
Yeah, everybody else is eating. And a lady said, could you cover up? She said. And my husband put the blanket over my head. It's like being a smartass. He covered up my head. And I just remember laughing and thinking, well, right, like, why am I, this is literally, this body was made, my breast was made,
Right.
and it produces milk. It's not by chance. It was on purpose. That's what it's for.
Right.
You
Everybody
have a
in
titty,
the room
I have a titty.
Right.
They
Everybody
have
in the room
titty.
eating.
Right.
Like,
Everybody's eating. My baby's
my
gonna
baby
eat.
eating, you
Right.
eating. Like, tell him to cover up too. Like,
Right.
if you eating that chicken, I don't want to hear you smacking. So cover
Right.
up or shut up.
Oh gosh, I definitely don't want to hear somebody smacking.
That's funny.
No,
No,
none
that's-
of that.
My son-in-law don't like that.
I know. She's
Oh,
the worst. She's the
It's the correct. Like, she hates when I'm eating, and then
I
like
can't even swallow around her. Okay.
I'll be drinking something, and then but she'll come sit next to me. Like, I'll be in a room just minding my business. I'm like, man, I'm finna eat. She'll come sit next to me and be like, can you stop that? And I'm like, you can go sit somewhere else. But then the thing about it is, she'll complain about me eating, right? But I'm in the bed sitting there watching TV at night right before I'm about to go to sleep. She'll come in there with a bag of sunflower seeds. So all you hearing is like the spit, the crack, and you like, so you don't like to hear people eat, but you sitting here eating a bag of the most noisiest food.
But
No,
she can't hear herself.
it doesn't matter. I mean, it's like common courtesy. It's like, if you don't like to hear people eat, you would take more, into the effect of like, I'm not gonna do
Not
this
doing
because
it
I
yourself?
don't know. I'm gonna go over here and eat. She'll eat right here in front of me, but if I'm eating in front of her, it's an entire issue. And I take it because that's just what it is. But still, it upsets me because it's the fact that it's like, you don't even like it.
Smart man. Just go with it. Just go with it.
I don't have a problem with somebody eating around me, but I make sure I make it known that I hear her eating, just because she does.
Because she hears you.
I can hear you. You know that, right? Like,
Spitting your sunflower seeds. Like that.
and like, you're right. She'll bring like a water bottle.
Oh, no.
She's spitting it in the water bottle, and the nastiest thing is like, she just leave the water bottle anywhere. And you like, that's nasty.
Now that's nasty. Way worse than a bare titty.
Right. I don't see how a man could have a problem with just a titty being out. Like, get your look and then look away. Like,
I don't think it's usually men. It's usually their jealous wives.
yeah. But
Insecure women. which is silly, but it's the truth. I've never gotten no man has ever said, "Could you put your breast away?" It's women.
Is women, and then the men feed off of it. Like,
Right.
oh, she's uncomfortable, so which is another dumb, another dumb aspect of that because it's like, how you think you were fed when you were a kid?
Right.
Just let the kid eat. Mind your business. But see, it's me personally. I think is it more Caucasian people, more white people that do that?
I've never, well, not necessarily, because when I would be around my father's side, I'm multiracial, but my father's side is mostly black. When I would be around, they did not like it either. I
And
needed to be modest and
what be
cover up
they-
my titty.
What's
That's
their reaction
nasty.
to it? Is
Yeah, that's nasty. Put your titty away. There's there's free milk. You don't need to do it like that.
Wick.
Right. So, but my grandmother on my mother's side that was from Romania, she didn't like it either.
Right, but I know the thing is with black people, they don't. We don't. I'm not even gonna say they don't. We don't trust anything like different. You know what I'm saying? Like so when it like I know you work with skin, right?
Right.
So like as a black person, I have very sensitive skin. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, you don't.
if you touch me and your hands dirty, I'm gonna get a bump.
Oh, you're gonna break out in hives.
Right. If you like if you stink, I'll probably get a bump. Like that's just how we just portray our skin. Like I mean like I take care of my skin very well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
I've looked. I'm checking out the blackheads and I
but
can't help
the
it.
thing is like I have like well you know I have no choice but to make sure my skin is clean.
Right.
But being African American or just what I just call us black,
Right.
just being black,
Right.
we don't trust nothing foreign on our skin.
You'd be surprised.
Right. So you are an advanced practice esthetician.
Yes, I
right?
am.
So can you expunge on like what black people can do to better our skin so that it's not so foreign to us? Like what does that require? Like being an esthetician on
Go on Black Twitter. I'm telling you, Black Twitter estheticians is where it's at. They have everything on that. I love it. Follow me on Instagram, Aesthetics by Nat. There's a lot of things that you can do for our skin. I myself that's one of the reasons I got into this. So I always have a purpose for what I do. So my purpose for skin was I have lupus. So I have systemic lupus. And so when I was 19, I started to get these crazy looking, almost like the Morgan Freeman bumps. I can't think of the word, but that's what I call them. So, you know, look like little skin tags
yeah, like
that
yeah.
you get on your face. And so I went to the doctor. They took it off. They found out I had lupus. And so just crazy things. I started to get vitiligo, and I was getting patches. Yep.
Uncle Ruckus had revitiligo.
Yeah, and I was getting like just crazy things on my face, hives and melasma and all these different things. So I wanted to learn, educate myself, and then I started to love it. So that's why I started to look into it. As black people, we don't think we need sunblock. We need sunblock. We need
That's funny because I
sunblock.
always say that. They be like, you ain't gonna put none of the sunscreen on. Man, I'm black.
Yeah, you need
That'd be
sunblock.
that's my
We
argument.
still
for
need it. We need
don't
some.
need that
That's
shit.
why we get the dark spots and the hyperpigmentation and the hypopigmentation. So we still have to take care of our skin. Yes, we age beautifully, but we still
Yes, we
there's
do.
things we can do to give ourselves those benefits. So, you know, proper skincare, treatments, chemical peels, skin pen. There's some lasers that are safe for us. I personally am not crazy about a lot of lasers for our skin just because, but you can test spots on your skin to see if you'll have a reaction. So I like to do things like that. Hydrofacials are my favorite.
I've had one of those before. I've had a few
See?
of those before.
And you liked it, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
My
Look
skin
at
be
this.
glowing. Like I'm not a picture poster, right? But whenever I go get a hydrofacial, I make sure I got a haircut. I'm out there cooling. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to put this on.
Because you got that hydro glow.
I got the glow and the whole thing going. So I make sure, yeah.
Right. So that's honestly, that's one of my go-tos is a hydrofacial because you're getting that real thorough treatment without being nervous or scared. I get a lot of black women that come in or women of color that come in that are scared. They're scared. They don't want lasers. They don't want really intense treatments. Then I get their trust with doing the hydrofacials and getting them those results with their skincare routine because taking care of your skin at home is really what I want you to do. Yeah, I want you to come in and have a treatment, but I also want you to learn to take care of your skin at home because investing in your skin is a lot.
Yeah, it's important.
It's not cheap. So if you're going to make an investment in your skin and come see me and spend $200, $300, I want you to do that at home. I want you to take care of your skin. But number one, you got to sunblock, water. You got
Yeah,
to eat
being
well.
hydrated is one of
Right.
the main things because that breaks your skin easily. Like,
Right. And you
and
have
I've
to
learned
you
that.
do have to nurture yourself well and stress. And as people of color, our stress levels are high.
Yeah,
I mean, if
especially
you
in the climate. Yeah.
right, and you have to, sometimes people are working 2, 3 jobs to make ends meet, and that's stressful,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how do you look at it. Being broke is stressful, and working 3 jobs is stressful.
Being broke and having money,
Right.
both of them
So
stressful. I've lived
right.
both sides.
Yeah. So you
Right.
have to take time out for yourselves and take care of yourself, and if that is in the form of self care and taking care of your skin, then I'm here to help because it's something that it's very important to me for people. Our faces are the first things
People see.
people
Well,
see in your smile. So teeth and
teeth
skin.
and skin. Well,
Teeth
see,
and
mine
skin.
is teeth and shoes. But yeah, that's right. So like your teeth and like basically your facial features is
Right.
the first thing somebody sees when they see you.
Right.
And it just adds up, like just to make sure that you look the best you can look or feel the best you can feel,
Right.
because having something wrong with your skin can lead to other things like cancer and other
Right.
things like that.
But
So
it
you wanna
also
make
affects
sure-
people's self worth and self esteem. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how many beautiful African queens come to see me and they want to bleach their skin or they bleach their skin and they're ruining their beautiful skin. And it's because that they don't feel like they are loved and admired for their color. And they come see me and I'm
Black
like,
is beautiful, people.
yes, black is so beautiful. And I will get women that come in, and by the end, we're both crying because I'm like, "Are you kidding?" I used to go to tan salons because I used to want to get darker.
You want to be dark.
I wanted to be real, real dark. So I would go to tan.
You black. It's too late.
But I still wanted to be. I'm light though. I wanted to be darker than this. So I'd lather some stuff on and I'd go in the tan. This is when I was young. I was a young girl. I didn't know better. But I would go and tan because I wanted to be darker. Because in the wintertime you lose that color. But our skin is beautiful. It's why we all have different shades of brown. And it's a beautiful thing. But there's lots of things that you can do to care for your skin. Because I don't want marks all over my face. I don't want dark spots. I don't. We scar easily.
Mm-hmm. Well,
when we pop our pimples and different things like that. Get out of the mirror. Put the Q-tips down.
and that goes that part of it. That part, as far as I know, is for men and women to take care of your skin.
Men are worse.
Well,
Y'all are worse.
we really don't look at our skin like that. But my thing is, do y'all do anything with AA?
What do you mean?
You know what AA is? AA is, I call it ass acne.
Oh, of course.
See, like,
I'm thinking Alcohol Anonymous.
right.
I'm
It
like,
almost is.
I'd rather
Like,
not.
Well, I guess you're a woman, but as a
Right.
man, like, you know what I'm saying, you get a fine girl, like her face is beautiful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She takes care of her skin in the front, takes care of all the skin that you can see.
Right.
You get her pants down,
Uh-oh.
and then there's
Hammer
ass
time?
acne.
Woo.
Right, and you like, well, but you have to be considerate because she probably don't know that's
She
back
can't
there.
see it.
So, is there anything that y'all do for women like that?
Of
I know
course.
that y'all do like explain the whole process of vaginal waxing and all that.
So we have hair laser removal, which really does help for all ethnicities, because some people get ingrown hairs
Mm-hmm.
and different things that can lead to booty bumps, in the
BB.
in the
The
certain
BB.
areas,
AAs and
the
BBs.
crevices of the booty. But we also do booty facials. And it's you're cleansing, you're double cleansing that area, which somebody can do at home, males. And then
Wait, so you mean like we could do it on our women, or we can do it ourselves?
well, you could the women could come see me, the women could learn and do it for their man, vice versa.
Well, I was
very
going to say
easy.
like, well, men wouldn't, but I guess like all men aren't. Well, some
I know men
are,
get cysts on their booties. I've seen them. Come on, all that sickness and drinking too much or doing whatever you do when you get a little booty bump right there.
Well, as a heterosexual man, and nobody's back there.
right,
So
I understand.
any bump that I get back
right.
there is my bump. Nobody needs to touch it. But as a man on the other side of the fence, I mean, like
Right.
that situation is for you. However you want
Right.
to figure that out. So y'all both can go to wherever y'all need to go to get that figured out. But for me,
Right.
nobody's back there touching my ass. And bet not be nobody touching my ass back there. So I don't need that. I don't need nobody trying to figure out my
You
booty
still don't want a
bumps.
booty bump on your booty. That hurts.
And if it's there, it's there. That's my booty bump. That's me. That bump belongs to moi.
It's Arnold's.
Right. That's Arnold's bump. AB.
A-
We got AAs, BBs, and that's an AB.
That's a AB.
Right.
Okay.
Mix them together. Arnold's bump. Nobody gonna touch Arnold's bump. Because anybody touches Arnold's bump, that means Arnold got to shoot somebody.
We don't want nobody going to jail.
Exactly.
Not today.
Well, that's gonna be that's a movement right there. If I say don't touch it, that means you are in the wrong.
Right.
So I was defending myself. But yeah.
And there's lots of things
more
you
about
can
that.
do.
Yeah, talk more
Yeah,
about
there's
that.
lots of. You just have to exfoliate your body. There's a lot of different things that you can do as someone that's not coming into a spa to get their booty bumps taken care of. I even there's body treatments that you can do. Even Olay has retinol body wash that can be helpful.
What's retinol?
So retinol is going to help you. That is like the key ingredient. Retinol, vitamin C and E. So that's going to help you with hyperpigmentation, breakouts. So that's where it's at for those booty bumps.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to continue talking about the ass. I know some people going to be like uncomfortable, like, oh, they're going to talk about ass the whole time. But I just want to make sure everybody knew, like,
everybody's got a
if you
booty.
have that, it can be
Right.
taken care of
Yes.
somehow, some way.
Right.
But see, we were talking about stress, and you're a massage therapist.
Right.
That helps. Like going to, because the first time I got a massage, I was in Jamaica for my sister's wedding, and what now is my fiance was pissing me off the entire time
Was
we
she
was
smacking?
out there. No, what was pissing me off is because like we on vacation. You know what I'm saying? She likes to tan.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? She likes to sit out in front of the pool early in the morning when the sun rising. See,
With sunblock on.
right. See, she's Latina. I'm black. I don't want to sit in no damn sun. So that was her thing. Oh, you're not going to get up? Like, man, I will get up. I'm on vacation.
Right.
I'm going to get up when I feel like getting up. So she was pissing me off every morning. We only got to eat where she wanted to eat. And then when we finally went and got a massage, I need another one, actually, right now. I'm going through it, actually, as of right now.
I have the place.
So, going to a massage therapist, that is like a stress reliever. Well, at least it was for me. I don't know how everybody else feel like, unless you went to the wrong massage therapist and they weren't doing their job correctly. But for me, that massage, that made our whole trip better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was getting up in the morning with my sunblock on, like, yeah, we're going to sit in the sun today. After that, and then they had like the, I think it was like a pool bar. That's what they call it, like the bar that you go to when you swim. I was doing all that stuff. I'm like, man, I was missing out on this for like the last 3 days.
Because
Like,
you're crabby.
Right. And then I went and got a massage. All that changed. And I'm like, this
You're
is the
releasing
best.
tension.
Yeah. So, but what is it? Like, what is it within a massage that takes stress away?
Well, it also depends on the person doing it.
Right.
Because I think that if you have the right practitioner, they want you to relax. They want to take that tension away. That's body work, so they want to release that stress from you. So you obviously had the right practitioner that wanted to help you truly relax and de-stress and all of those things. But it's just relaxing those muscles. We get tense. We're sitting at computers. We're sitting on our phones. We're bending down to do, take care of our kids, or we're working, whatever you do for a living. And it's repetition. You're doing it all the time. How often do you get a massage? Some people, if you're very blessed, maybe once a week. Some people, once a year, every 5 years. It's something that you should honestly do every 30 days.
That was my first and only time. But I was surprised because like being stressed and all of the things that come with stress, like that refers back to your like mental health.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like just getting a massage was just enough for me at the moment.
Right.
Was enough for me and my mental health. Like it helped, I guess, for that. I think we was there for about a week, maybe a little less. But it helped for like that week. And mental health is a very big thing in our community.
Yes,
Like
it is.
most things in our community, they don't, when we talking about mental health, we throw off everything as you crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything that you do that's of the abnormal, you crazy. But nobody takes time to realize that people go through a lot
Right.
that it builds up. It
Right.
makes you feel like I used to always think I'm even one of them people. Like I don't want to say I thought people were crazy. I used to think people were just lying. Like I think you're over exaggerating it.
Right.
I used to think that way, like about being what do they call it? I'm
Traumatized?
no, not traumatized, but having I have it, and I don't know why I can't even think
Anxiety?
anxiety.
Okay.
You know, I have anxiety really bad, but it's not social anxiety, or any of them things. I don't have depression or anything that makes you feel like doing anything to yourself.
Right.
But in those moments, like I can't focus. Like my focus, and if that's a such thing, like
Mm-hmm.
focus anxiety. Like I lose focus, or so I'm actually on medication for anxiety because I'd be bouncing all over the place,
Right.
and like my anxiety is just like over the hill, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people need to have those conversations because a lot of people don't understand that that works both ways. Like black people have anxiety, white people have their
Right.
anxiety. I can't explain what theirs is. Probably that the country is probably not what it used to be, you know. Uh, Latino people, everybody has anxiety,
Right.
you know.
Everybody has trauma.
Right. And then we had I think Regina Hall's son just committed suicide. I think, well, as far as we know, we found that out today.
Right.
You know, but nobody can explain like what would push a person of color to do something like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like we were saying with pregnancy, they always think we have the tougher skin, or
Right.
we're different, but we wired just the same way that anybody else is wired. The
Right.
only difference is we have different social constructs.
Right.
You know,
Well, we don't think that it's a safe place to discuss mental health because you don't want somebody to call you crazy
crazy.
or, you know, say you're fucked up or you need to go on medication, you
Right.
need a
Keep
therapist.
away from that
So,
nigga.
right. Some, because we grew up in, we think that that's not, you're weak.
Right. Like
You're weak
you can't
minded.
take this.
You're, you know, all these things. And it's so untrue. And the worst part is it's affecting black males like crazy. My brother buried his best friend 2 years ago. He committed suicide. We had no idea. My best friend hung herself in August. No, I talked to her 2 days prior. She said it's the happiest she's been in 10 years. Happiest she's been in 10 years, and she 2 days later she was dead. We don't discuss it, and we don't make it somewhere where you can be comfortable discussing it. That I'm a huge mental health advocate. I've suffered from anxiety and depression on and off throughout my life, from sometimes circumstantial, sometimes trauma, and I've never felt better or closer to who I am than I have the last few months because I started taking medication. I was one too. I was a mental health advocate. I'm all about mental health and getting better, but I did not want a fucking pill. I did not want to take. Nope,
See,
I
I
ain't
was the
taking a
same way.
pill.
Like, hey,
I am
y'all
not
ain't gonna
taking.
kill
I'm gonna
me.
be better. I'm gonna feel better. I can do this on my own. And then I started not to recognize myself. I gained weight. I became
Right.
irritable.
You just
I
want
was
to do the normal
crabby.
stuff that you used to do.
Yeah,
You like, I don't
and
want
I
to do
was
that
like,
shit.
okay, I got to figure this out because I'm not comfortable with who I am right now. And I just thought I got to get better. I got to
Right.
figure this shit out. I thought, okay, maybe I'll eat an edible. Maybe that will make me feel better. No, just made me
I'll do
paranoid and
that too.
tired.
I used to smoke
Yeah,
weed. I started smoking
yeah.
weed. Edibles fucked all
No,
that up for me
yeah.
though.
I tried an edible. I was hot and more hungry.
Like,
Then I tried. My friend was like, "Oh, try some CBD." I tried that shit. I fell asleep. Nothing was making me feel better. I tried I bought a Peloton. I did all types of shit, and then finally I was like, you know what? I'm not happy. And I listened to The Breakfast Club every morning, and Charlamagne the God is very open about his depression, his anxiety, and
mental health. Like
mental
that's his
health.
thing. Like
And
I
he was,
read. I got both of his books.
and
I
they're
think
so
that's what.
good.
Yeah, I read both of those.
And he was like, he said something, and he said, "Nigga, get on some antidepressants." I was like, Charlamagne's talking to me.
See, I don't like. See, I don't have depression, so
Yeah.
to speak. I just have anxiety, and I think that's just because I can't. I'm always looking over my shoulder for something.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I can speak from the perspective of being a black man.
Right.
You know, most people think that they have our mental space and what could be affecting us figured out.
Right.
You know, they think like police brutality.
Right.
You know, going to prison, being murdered, or anything unjustly happening to black people. But they don't understand that. Okay, we deal with that. You know what I'm saying, and then we have a family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and we're still human. Like, you still have your self-esteem. Like, we still have a self-esteem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still have like the thing where we're wondering uh like about our relationships. We have relationship problems. We have
You have everyday stressors
you're
on top
every
of the
day, and
fact
then
that you're worrying
everything that
about
I
if you're going
mentioned
to
before
survive the day.
is put on top of that. Then you come home and you like it's like a crushing feeling, you know.
And the last couple of years haven't made it any easier.
Right.
With all the, all of a sudden now everybody's starting to see, with George Floyd, if that didn't send every black woman and man into a panic mode, I don't know what would. We watched a man get murdered.
Right. I actually
He
to this
was
day
murdered
I've
on.
never watched that whole video.
Well, I can't watch the whole video either, but
I work
that's
with
our
white people,
reality.
so I couldn't do it.
That's our reality, that they can just do that to
Do
us.
it, and then he
He
actually
had
got penalized
right.
somewhat for it, but before like they
Right.
didn't believe like
But
this
he didn't
happens
think he was.
all the time.
We watched him. He didn't think he was.
Right. He thought because it's normal.
Right.
Like when they do stuff like that, it's normal. They do it and then they feel like, oh, I could do this. Nothing's gonna happen. This is the way
Right.
my job works.
Right.
Like this is you. This is your place and this is my place.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
so that
how,
gives you I mean, I had panic attacks because I was, you're scared. I get anxious if I see a police officer behind me. I live in Egan. Okay. I live in Egan. I live in a suburb of Egan. I get nervous. So I can't imagine somewhere else how nervous I would be as a black woman. You know. So it's
like,
scary.
I used
It's a
to live
scary
when I used to
reality.
live in Woodbury, and then I used to work at Taco John's at night. I used to get pulled over by the same cop every night.
What do you want?
And he asked the same stupid ass question. Where are you going? You put me over in the same spot, and you get I give you my ID. Where do you think I'm going?
Right.
And we right down the street from
So you just
he
want
was
to
like,
fuck with
just
you.
make sure you go home. But you're right. And then luckily, it kind of stopped after a while. But I know the reason why it first started because of the type of cars that I drive.
Right.
So I knew why it first started, but luckily it ceased to stop. Because if it kept happening, you never know. I could have been having a bad day.
Right.
And I've grown up to know, like, with the police, you can't have a bad day.
Right.
That's one thing as being African American male or woman.
Right.
You can't be having a bad day when it comes to the police.
Right.
Because they could take your life at any moment. Or something bad could happen to you at any
Right.
like you just snap off on them, you might get beat up.
Right.
You never know. So I just I try to keep it centered. But luckily that stopped happening. So
You quit Taco John's?
yeah. I quit that a long time ago. Yeah, I don't need to come here. And then when I kind of got fired, but not fired, just released because I had worked there since I was so young. And then one day I just decided, like, man, I'm not going back in there. And then
And they released you?
no, they pissed me off. But see, they don't understand what it's like. Black people in our gas, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have called me before I came.
They didn't need you? Oh, yeah.
Like, I had missed a couple days. True. I missed a few days. I'm not going back there. And then I was like, well, they haven't called me or nothing. Like, let me go ahead and go into work. And I already had another job, but I ain't got nothing else to do tonight. So
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and go to work. Then I get there, and they're like, well, we thought that you such and such, and we just letting you go out. And I understand why you let me go.
Right.
Because I ain't been here.
In 2 days.
Right. But the thing is, I just drove all the way from my house to here. Y'all could have told me this shit on the phone.
Right.
And I could have just sat at the crib. But that's not what they wanted to do.
Right.
They waited till I got all the way there. So me being me, I cussed everybody out in there. Like, fuck you and you ugly. And, and then I'm like, and I'm out of here.
I took some of those little, what were those little tater tot things?
Olays?
Yeah.
Man. Since I don't work there no more, I used to get them, like, I worked there when I was in high school. I used to get them to my friends all the time. They come in like, hey, I got you. Don't even worry about it. All my friends used to come in there. We used to break records. Most of the time, I'd be like, look, I'm going to ring you up for a churro, which was like $1. I'm going to give you a big ass Olay and some cheese. Don't even worry about it. But you got to give me the $1 or you ain't getting no Olays. They're like, all right, cool.
Right.
And we broke records. Like, they be
For
like,
selling
man,
churros?
basically. But I was selling Olays. Like, giving everybody Olays. My best friend come in there and be like, hey. Be like, I'm finna take a break, but I'm gonna make us something to eat. We got 6 tacos, Olays, all type of shit in there. But I ain't gonna lie, Taco John's food is really good. I don't like Taco Bell. That shit looks like there's something wrong with it.
I'm not a fan.
Me neither. You see they got chicken?
I heard it's good. I haven't tried it. But
Hell
I've
no,
heard the
it
wings are
can't be
good.
no
I'm
damn
not
good.
trying a chicken wing at
I
that taco
never
place.
I don't even like KFC chicken. They
Right.
have to prove themselves to me. But Taco Bell's regular food fucks your stomach up. Where they get these chicken wings from?
I don't know.
Everybody else running out of chicken wings.
Right, Taco Bell's got chicken.
Out of nowhere, you get some chicken wings. Where your chicken wings come from? You know
The
what I'm
rest
saying?
of that meat.
Right. They already said coronavirus came from bats. Well, that was initially the thought. So where your chicken come from? What is this? We don't need no new viruses out here because I don't need to be stuck in the house for a whole nother year.
2.
Right.
Almost 2. March.
It is. This March will be 2 years that we've been stuck on this coronavirus thing.
The hoe
which
needs to go.
is crazy. But I want to get off topic. I want to stay on topic.
We're way off.
Right. We talking
We're
about
talking
tacos.
about Taco John's.
Well, no, it's not Tuesday. I was gonna say but it's not Tuesday. Not even close. So we're gonna talk about being an aesthetic injector. Is that like Botox?
Yes.
See, that's one thing I know about black people. If it ain't getting shot in their butt, they're not gonna do it.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of black women that love Botox.
Crazy. So they've been tricking me all the time. I've been thinking she got beautiful big lips.
No, that's not Botox. That's filler. But I don't have the biggest lips in the world. I have no problem. I have no shame in wanting to do a little something, something. I haven't. I have not. But I wouldn't mind a little something, something. There's no shame in that. As we age, we lose the volume in our face. There's no shame in that. You see all these beautiful black Angela Bassett. Come on, you just think that's what's
Natural.
No, because she's dark and beautiful. She's
Yep.
got a very good.
Prove it.
She's got a very.
You gotta prove it.
She's
You gotta
got a
prove it. You gotta
very
prove it.
very
You gotta prove it.
good.
You gotta prove it. Angela Bassett, Tina Turner.
Yes,
I know I heard.
she's fine. She looks beautiful.
I
and
did
she's
that. That's why it's all swollen up like
no,
that.
no. She does stuff. I promise you.
Ike. That movie, he probably hit
That
her
is
for
not
real,
the
and it's
that is not
permanently
the real-
swollen.
No. What's his name?
Lawrence Fishburne?
He didn't hit her.
I don't know, man. He played that part a little too well.
He didn't hit her.
Very well. Eat the cake, Tina? Yeah.
She does stuff. It's stuff. A lot of black women in Hollywood and men get stuff done.
Nope. I don't even want to.
I promise you.
Nope.
Look at Black Twitter.
I don't.
I
believe
promise
so.
you,
Beyonce?
it's the truth. Beyonce, I don't know. I don't honestly.
I guess she's not really that old.
She's
Well, Angela
40,
Bassett's like
right?
60, ain't it?
she's older than 60. I think she's like 65.
What?
Look
I'll
at
still hit Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett is beautiful. Taraji. She can't
Taraji
even
P.
move
Henson?
that one eyebrow that like is
She
way
got
up
the
there.
people eyebrow like the
Yeah,
rock. Yeah, I've always
she's got
noticed that.
Botox.
How
She has
you
the
know?
grit.
That might
Because her eyebrows don't.
she
move.
might just be very skeptical.
No, she's not.
That might be what that is.
She's
Like,
not
she always
very
looking at people
skeptical.
like,
She is
"Your
beautiful
ass
and she is a
lying."
queen, but she has Botox or something. Her whole face doesn't move. She's always in that. Her eyes are
So
always
basically,
up.
what you're saying is your everyday woman can look like these women.
Yes,
Like-
let's not go too far. Because these women are naturally beautiful as well, so they're enhancing their natural beauty, which is you can always do. I can't promise
Kim Kardashian.
I can't promise somebody to walk in there and leave looking like Angela Bassett.
Hey,
Kim
you never know.
Kardashian has got work done. She
Oh yes,
always
we
puts
know
that-
Kim
right,
Kardashian's got work done.
Right.
I've seen Kim before Kim.
Right. Right.
Like, yeah,
But
the
there's
whole-
nothing
yeah.
wrong with wanting to look your best. As long as that's, to me, as long as that is your intention, you want to look your best, you feel comfortable in the skin you're in, and you want to look and feel your best, that's different than coming into me and I don't like my face. I don't like my cheeks. I don't like my lips. That's a self-esteem thing.
I think it's more so if you're doing it for you.
Right.
Like even if it's to boost your self-esteem.
Right.
Like I personally feel like if you're even doing it to boost your self-esteem, it's okay because you're
Right.
doing it for you.
For yourself.
But
Correct.
hopefully your self-esteem is based off of you. That's why it's called self-esteem.
Right.
But if you're doing it because you see somebody else getting attention because they did it,
Right.
and then you go do it based off of what they did, expecting to get the same results,
It's not going to happen.
then you're a fool.
Yeah.
But
that's
if
not
you're
gonna
doing
happen.
it just because this is what I want to do, that's
Right.
your business. I
That's
can't.
different.
But so what's the process of that? Like when you're in that process of aesthetic. I keep thinking of anesthetic.
I know
That's
because
some
of
quaint-
it's confusing.
But it's aesthetic.
Yep.
So what's the process? Like do they just go in there and they tell you like, well, this part right here is droopy? Like,
No.
what's the?
Usually, you'll do a consultation first and
Uh,
make sure that's something that you can do as a injectionist. Um, right now, I do mostly like neurotoxins, so like Botox, Dysport, um, Zeman, those kind of
what's
things.
Z?
So Zeman sounds like semen,
'Cause I
but
was
it's
just gonna say
Zeman.
like,
It's with
okay,
the X.
Z, okay, like
It
Dragon
sounds like
Ball.
a Z, but it's
Okay,
an X. And so those are neurotransmitters. So you're paralyzing the muscle, so you can't make certain like frowns and
so
different
maybe
faces.
like a mime.
No, not like a mime. So you're for
Can't
some
move.
people.
You can
Well, you
just
can move some things
robotic.
depending on
Oh
how
yeah.
many. No,
Yeah.
not that bad. Depending on where you want it. The lip flip is really popular right now. Women
What's
love
that?
the lip flip. So you just put it right in here in the muscles above the lip, and then it kind of poofs your lip up.
But does it make your nose look like you like?
No, my nose is
So
this close to my.
what I'm saying, like, if you inject something in the
No, like
muscle here, it's
no,
not gonna
I'm not
affect.
doing it here. I'm doing it here.
Okay,
It's
just
just
okay,
gonna
just
puff your lip a
here.
little bit.
So you kind
Little,
of ducking it out.
Yeah, just a little. Not like that. Not like Snooky. Just a little bit.
Just
Just a little.
it just stiffens it up.
Yeah.
How
So
long does it last for?
Up to 3 months, 90 days.
Oh, so
can
there's
last.
okay.
Right.
I know a lot of women that probably would like that.
Right, and filler lasts longer. It can. Depending
So
on how
what's
your
the
body-
difference between that and
So
filler?
filler is so with Botox or Z-Men neurotransmitter, you're paralyzing the muscle not to move. With filler, you're literally filling the space. So as we age, our skin droops. Hopefully, never on me. Um,
Oh, you got a long way to go. You black.
but so let's say someone's cheeks are saggy,
Mhm.
so you can fill that. It's going to help
Mm.
fill. Or someone has thin lips, you can fill the lips in, give it more volume.
Oh, okay. So and then the other one is just has to do with the muscle.
Right.
And
Right.
then
So
that one's the
Kylie.
actual
So
skin.
I mean, someone that you can say that everybody would know is Kylie Jenner.
Mhm.
Her lips. She had no lips, and now she
The
has
whole
big
family.
lips, and she's a billionaire for a lip kit.
Their entire family's like that.
So
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So that would be filler
Oh.
on her lips, like
See,
so
but
she.
I want to
her
make it
lips.
clear to all black women watching this and the other spectrum that these are not ass shots we talking about. Because I know that's very popular.
Oh no, we are not talking about.
I
ass
don't want people to
shots.
think that they can go in there and be like, "Yo, can I get some ass filler?" And they're
No.
like, "No, that's not. That's like,
No.
but that's just for the face."
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Some people do it in the hands. I don't, but some people fill their hands. But yes, you would need to call a
Most of
plastic.
the time, it's for
Yes.
just the face.
Yes.
It's not for the backside. or
No, you would
nothing
have to
like
call
that.
Dr. Miami
Mm.
for your booty.
I've seen some botched Dr. Miami patients.
Have
before.
you?
Yes. Well, they don't think they botched. I do.
Oh, well, they all
in
look
my
like they have a
opinion.
diaper booty.
Just my opinion.
Right.
Just-
Yeah.
I guess.
It doesn't look realistic when you have a big ass and chicken legs.
Right.
Mhm.
Like you look like Gru.
Right.
Is
Ew.
it Gru from
From Despicable Me?
Yes.
I
Like,
call him Groot, but the kids always fix me.
yeah, and then you right.
And
You're
they
built
look-
like a bell.
Right. It's
Yeah.
not pretty. And no
Not
one
at
likes
all.
it.
You're just like, oh,
No.
poor lady. But there's nothing you can do about that. If it makes her happy,
Right.
we all should be happy.
Yep. If you're
regardless
happy,
of that. So
live your life.
right. So let's talk about being holistic nutrition.
So I did that along with my advanced practice aesthetics. So I did that at the same time. You had to have I went to St. Paul College, shout out, because that's the best college for aesthetics. And so when I went there, you had to have another one more extra class. I can't even think of what's elective,
Yeah.
basically. So I chose that because I knew I was going to do massage therapy. And so with that, they really just taught you the proper things to eat, which was important to me with my lupus as well. So just ways to kind of heal your body.
So what's some good things that as you say, I have Dr. CV on the wall.
Yeah.
So what's some good things that you can eat?
So things
For
that I learned
skin-wise or
I mean,
whatever.
really was no gluten because of inflammation properties. And obviously fried foods, meat.
Okay, let me make this easier. What's some other things I can do? Because I'm not doing that.
Some good things you can do. I think fasting is a great thing.
Well, I do that most of the time because I don't take a lunch.
Well, that's
So
not starving,
that
fasting.
that don't count. I drink water.
I suppose. Yeah, that can
Like, I
count.
guess it's like in the morning, I drink some water, go to work all day,
Right.
come home, and then I'm starving though.
Right. And that's not good either.
Right.
So, get like a protein drink or a smoothie. That also could
I don't
be.
like smoothies. I don't like the way it
You're
feels in my
not,
mouth.
but you're not eating the right kind.
What's some good ones?
I like to do.
What's some holistics?
So I don't like the feeling of seeds. I'm weird. So I don't like strawberry seeds in my mouth.
Strawberry got seeds.
Yeah, the little things that are in
Oh,
strawberry.
you talking about the things on the outside?
on the strawberry? Right.
That's not
You
a
eat
seed.
that.
Yeah, but I don't. I eat it. I
Whatever.
guess I
It
eat
looks like
fast.
a seed. I think it's a seed. So like I'll do like bananas, oranges,
Bananas
kale.
are no for me.
I'm
I'm not doing bananas unless
You
they
can't
cut
even
up.
taste. No, but you can't taste it. It's in a smoothie. You can't taste it. Coconut water. Beets are really good for you, but you have to be prepared for them because they turn your pee red, so that can be scary, or your poop. So
Oh yeah, I'm not going.
that
do
might
Definitely
scare you,
not
but it doesn't
gonna do
taste
that.
bad. But a smoothie is really good for you.
But okay, you said beets. What's the concept of eating the beet? I see a lot
do
of
you
people
mean?
like what's the
The benefit?
yes, the benefit to eating beets. Like
They're good for you. They're nutritious.
a lot of things are good for you, like, but what does a beet, like, I'm about to piss red and shit red for what?
It's nutritious. It's good for you. It's sweet. So it actually has a nice sweet taste to it. They're good. Have you ever had a beet?
No.
Okay, so don't knock it till you try it.
Ain't, like, a beet is a root, right?
It looks like a turnip almost.
Oh, I can eat some turnip greens.
I'm not talking about turnip greens.
No,
But
that's not the
turnip
same.
greens are
I-
good for you.
Wait, I think my grandma cuts beets up and put them in the greens, though. I had to ask her. I don't know.
No,
but
she don't.
she don't.
No.
That's not what that thing is.
No, that it could be
Are beets red all the way through, or are they
Yes.
red on the outside and white
Beets
on the
are red.
inside? All the
You're
way
th-
through.
Oh, you're thinking of a radish.
Radishes. That's what my grandma
Radishes,
cuts up.
yep,
That shit's
are
fire.
are red on the outside and then white.
Then
on
white on the
Yeah.
inside.
So you're thinking
So
of
yeah,
a radish.
we don't even need to eat beets. Like, I think actually in my last episode I was talking about people eat onions. You ever seen the movie Holes?
Yes, I love the movie Holes with
Yeah.
little kids that are in trouble and they're all
And then they have to eat they like, man, we stranded out here, let's eat an onion.
Yeah, I love Holes.
But yeah, that used to be one of our favorite movies, and that's how I got stuck on, like, beets and onions. They kind of look the same. And then what you told me is that's a radish. So I don't even know what the hell really a beet is.
You do if I'll show you what a beet is, but you're thinking of purple onion. People call it a red onion. It's more purple. It looks purple.
More
me.
flavorful, I guess. Like, but
Yeah.
I only put it in food. I'm not finna eat an onion just plain, just to eat no damn onion.
No, well, you could eat an onion ring.
I don't.
Those aren't good, but those aren't good for you either.
I don't like onion rings because I literally had this conversation while people eating onion rings. I'm like, y'all just eating the fried onion.
Right. You
That's
don't like those
just-
things at Outback?
No.
Those little onion, what are they called?
Outback
The
has
bloomin'-
so much other good
The
things.
blooming onion?
No.
That's good. Especially the dipping sauce.
I've never been like, oh, y'all, let's go get some onion.
No, I
But
understand.
we can go get some steak,
Right.
but I'm
It's
not
good.
going to get no onion.
It's good.
But
Totally not on the holistic nutrition chart.
Okay, yeah, I'm deferring from where we was going.
It's okay.
Like,
I'm ADD too. We're
right.
fine. But yeah, there's a lot of things that we should do for our bodies that we know that are good for us that we don't do, and things that we ingest that we shouldn't. I think it's more about balance and just doing the best that we can.
Like, so do you juggle too?
No, I don't.
You sure? Because you do a lot of shit. You don't do magic. Like, I'm looking at the list and I'm like, damn, what don't she do?
No. And you know what? You change as a person and you grow and your interests change and your passions change.
True, because that's why I do this now. Like, I've never
Right.
thought I would be. I'm very antisocial unless it's close friends, and I don't even know how the hell I met them.
Right.
Like, my relationships with a lot of my friends didn't start off how a lot of relationships with friends is. Like,
Right.
one of my closest friends, Hailey, I always thought she was a weirdo, and she turned out to be like one of the
When you're
closest
close-
people.
yeah.
Yeah. Cooper, he big as hell. I was almost got into a fight with him. My son's mom, I hated her when I first met her.
She's gonna need a dinner date after this.
Something. But yeah, like the way I meet people isn't normal. Like people usually just meet people. Hey, how you doing? That's just not me because I'm very antisocial. Like I don't like talking to people if you're not family or a friend. I'm or not introduced to me by a family or friend. I'm not the type of person to just be like, he seemed cool.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I have my daughter, my oldest daughter is exactly that way.
That's how you have to
She's
be.
had her friends. She's got about 2 friends and she's had them since kindergarten.
Right.
And she's very content with that lifestyle.
Actually, my friend Nasia, I met her. Well, no, how I met her is different. Somebody in the school told. Well, so I used to live right across from high school, right? From our high school, like literally right across the street, and I was late every day. The last kid to walk in there, and then one day I walked in through the front, and the security guard at the front, Tad, I think his name was Tad. He was like, "You late again, huh?" Yep. And then Nasia walks in, and then he looking at her like, "You late? And you're never late." And then she like, "Yeah, I seen him walk, but she has to walk past my house." And then he like, "You live right." He telling me like, "You live right across the street. You late every day." So he tells her like, "Make sure he get to school
On
such
time.
and such." So like, I had to look out the window, and she'd be like, "Yeah, I gotta go to school." So then that's how I start somewhat being on time to school. And then like I found out like me and her like the same people. We just like assholes. But people call you an asshole, but you're really not an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I'm just what they call outspoken. But I'm an introvert. It's very
I was
weird.
gonna say, but my daughter's the same
You know what
way.
I'm saying? Like if you ask me a question, I'm not gonna like make you feel good just because you ask me. I'm gonna
Right.
tell you what I feel about it. That's
right. You're gonna
but-
be
honest.
yourself. You're gonna be authentic.
Right. So people look at it as like, "Are you an asshole because you didn't, subscribe to people's needs?" Like,
Right.
and then I'll be like, "Man, fuck them." That's basically how I look at it.
And go
You
back in your
asked
hole.
if you ain't want to know, you shouldn't ask, right? And then I just like creep off to my
Right.
little hole. By
So you're
myself.
growing because now you're on here.
Right. And then I like gotta talk to people all the time, and I like it though. I think it's like refreshing. Because me talking my son's mom's ear off about all the subjects, in which I'm probably going to talk about later, she ain't got to hear that shit, just her. She's
Right.
like, oh, so now y'all can feel what I got to go through on the daily.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that is, I think it balances itself out.
Right. Well, growth is intentional. Not everybody does it. I mean, I know people that have not grown, that are still in their basement, thinking they're going to be rap stars. They're in their 40s, in their mama's house, and still living the dream from 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You're not growing intentionally, and some people can grow.
I used to rap when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
Don't knock my dream. I might still, you never
dust
know.
this mic off.
Right. You never know. One day I might be like, man, we ain't even finna do no episode. Y'all finna listen to my motherfucking mixtape today. Tell me what you think. Drop a couple
But
songs.
that's okay. But you've done other things. You haven't stayed dormant.
Well, yeah, true. And then some people closest to me be like, yeah, you should do it. Do some songs. And I'd be like, man, I'm 30. I'm not finna be that. I'm not. No. Ain't nobody finna. I'm not finna be that guy.
There's
Look
a
at this
difference
old-ass
between
nigga.
living in your mama's basement, thinking you're gonna be a rap star, and being a grown ass man with your own shit and your own equipment and having something that you're passionate about. There's a difference.
I know I got a lot of people that tell me I should do it, though. But just to let y'all know, I'm probably never going to do that shit.
Oh, I was gonna say, give us a rhyme.
No. You're never going to hear it. Unless just tune into, you never know. Tune into this podcast. One day, I just might drop a couple rhymes for you.
There
You know,
you go.
Dr. Seuss this shit out. But till then, you're just going to listen to me ramble about topics that I like. So it's almost like rapping. It just ain't no rhyming to it.
Right, you could do it.
Right? Very political views here. Or very informative.
Right.
You know, and I'm glad that we was here able to talk about skin today because that's a big thing for me. That's why I look so luscious right now. I know y'all
Oh,
look
Jesus.
No, I'm just kidding. But that's a big thing for me. Like a lot of people that look like us don't want to go into these places. You know, because they like, I don't need that shit. But white people understand it, because their skin variates through seasons, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I need to go do this and this. So it's helpful to them through every season. Like I don't want to be too pale, which I understand. You know, when the summertime comes around, you know they get skin tags and stuff like that from being in the sun too long or having their skin exposed. So they're very informed. People that look like this aren't informed on things that they could do to better their skin.
And we're busy. We're busy.
True.
We're
True.
busy not to have the time to take care of ourselves. And that's something that we all have to work on, is to find that time to take care of ourselves, because something as silly as 60 minutes or half hour to ourselves, like you said, that massage changed your whole mood for a week.
And me just thinking about that right now. No, continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, but just, it's good to take care of ourselves, no matter how you do it, whether it's skincare or massage or, listening to music for a half hour by yourself, whatever it is, we have to take that time out for ourselves, because in the end, that's who we have to deal with 24/7 is ourselves.
Right. And that is exactly what I've always wanted to tell people. No, but that's true though. Like taking that time out to better yourself in any form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like today we might be talking about skin, but tomorrow we could be we talked a little bit about mental health or
Right.
relationships and just to better yourself as a whole entity. But skin is very important because that's the outside of the entity in which you're in.
Right.
So if the outside ain't fitting what the inside is doing, you're probably gonna explode.
Right. So you're not going to explode, but you're not going to feel your best. And that's what you want to do. You want to feel your best inside and out.
True. So I'm glad that I've been able to have this talk with you today, Natasha.
Thank you. Me too.
Man, this was fun, actually. You my first actual guest.
I know. I feel so special.
Like I know, and that I'm proud to actually have you here.
Good. Thank you. Proud to be here.
And what I don't want to leave people in suspense. I want them to know where they can find you. Social media. We gonna tag all that at the bottom and stuff.
Good.
But I want you to be able to say it, let them know where they can find you. Like, where do you work to do the type of things that you say that you could do? Where social medias?
So, I am on social media at aesthetics _ by Nat, I believe. It is.
Well, you don't have to spell it out. We gonna put it at the bottom.
I'll look and put
I'll
it
let
at
you
the
look.
bottom of here. So, but I work at a spa that is prominently all for women, not prominently. It's all for women. So all the ladies out there that need some treatments, come and see me. For the gentlemen, I can definitely give you guys some references as to where to go depending on your need. There's lots
Sorry,
of
y'all.
Have your girl do it.
I
No,
did
I'm
that
just
shit
kidding.
You know, y'all girls like popping people pimples anyway. So.
Right. We do. At least I do. So there's, if there's any thing else that people have to ask or any questions, they can always hit me up on social media.
But okay,
Yeah.
did we get everything that you wanted to talk about? I feel like we touched everything, but I'm not going to just leave out without.
You and I are both very ADHD.
Right, like
So
we was jumping all over the place. We talk
all
about
over
Taco
the
Bell,
place.
chicken, mental health,
Right. So I guess my
skin, birthing.
main objective is for us to take care of ourselves. That is I'm very passionate about it. I'm educating myself more because I don't know everything. But my main objective right now is just to really advocate for men and women of color. It's extremely important. We're losing too many people
Right.
to mental health, addiction. So there's just my focus right now, and the thing I'm passionate right now is just us surviving,
True.
and healing and breaking generational curses for our children and for
You
our
sound like
children's
church.
children.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's why.
Amen.
That's why I do. Praise. My mom would really love that segment right there.
But that's it for me.
Yeah.
For me personally, I find strength in my higher power, which is God for me, in my spirituality. But like I said, mental health and taking care of ourselves, the way we eat, the way we think. If I had a choice, I'd eat fried chicken every day. I'm not trying to be funny or stereotypical or
Me
anything
too.
else.
I don't know
I
why
eat it.
people always say that's a stereo. Who
Who
don't
don't
like
like fried
chicken?
chicken? Right. Come on.
Well, I don't
But
like white people fried chicken. Some like if you got a southern base to you, you know how to cook some
what's
chicken.
that place called? I always call it Crackle Barrel, but it's Cracker
Cracker
Barrel.
Barrel.
Cracker
I've never
Barrel.
had it.
They got some good fried chicken,
But
but
I mean, like like you can't like if you season it right, it's good for you. But if you just
it's
you're
not good
suburban,
for you. It's not good for you. But I'm
it's
saying
right.
we have to take better care of ourselves. We have the highest risk of diabetes and our cholesterol and our weight and
'cause the food
all
good.
these different. I know it's good. Believe me, I know. I'm working on it right now. But I'm just saying we just need to take better care of ourselves.
I'm on a keto diet
That
right
is
now.
my. I know you're hungry.
I swear to God.
So that is
Lord.
my message to everyone out there is to take care of yourselves and love yourselves and
Right.
to be
And
good to yourselves.
and that reason, like what you said, like take care of ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I end this show the way I do, where I bring up the missing girls,
Yep.
and I make sure I get their names out there, their information out there,
Mm-hmm.
because I understand. Like I'm not gonna say white people don't try to help because there are good white people out
Yes,
there.
there is.
I call them white folks. I split the two,
Right.
because the word people and folks kind of varies. Like
Right.
when people say white people per se, I think they forget the aspect of being human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I call good white people white folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it takes that people aspect out of it.
Right. But it's the truth. Our girls do not get
Right. They don't get acknowledged.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
But I can't be the one that complains that white people don't do it.
Right. If you don't
And
do it.
I ain't going to do it.
Right.
So I'm going to do it. And then later on, I'll bitch and complain that white people don't do it. Like, y'all need to do that shit too.
Right.
Because I do it. So y'all can do it. And that's like that makes no sense for me to be like complaining about something
And not
that
doing
I
it.
ain't doing that shit neither.
Right.
Because I've seen what we call media don't do it. Black media don't do it.
Right.
So if I'm going to talk for damn near 40 minutes,
Right.
why would I not do it?
Right.
It just makes more sense, and it's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I can't explain what I'm going to do because I'm doing it.
Right.
So today we're going to start off. Unless, would you like to read
Huh?
ours? I could do it.
It
but
might make
I
me
mean,
cry,
like,
so you do it.
yeah.
I don't want to cry.
I've been
Look,
doing it for a couple
I got
episodes.
mascara on. I got my hair washed.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Today we have, starting off, one of our missing black girls. We have Hailey, Lamaya Nicole Cranford, and she stands at 5'7", 140 pounds. She's an African American female. The last date that she was contacted, or last time that she was seen, was January 18th of this year. So January 18th, 2022. She's in Little Rock, Arkansas. County is Pulaski County. Missing. Any other information that we have on her? That's all the information that we have on her. So we'll tag the numbers in all the places that you can call to locate her. And then also we have Nevaeh Lanesha Treadaway. Nevaeh is 5'5", 260. She's an African American female. The last time that she was seen was January 17th of this year. So January 17th, 2022. Dale City, Oklahoma. The county is Oklahoma County. The circumstances that they say that she was a runaway. So to give any information about her last whereabouts, if you know anything about any of the two last women that I've mentioned, you can either send me a message or you can call 1-800-THE-LOST, and we're going to tag those numbers down at the bottom so that you can give whatever help that you can to these girls that are missing. So with that being said, if you have anybody that is missing or that you need to find, or somebody that you know that's looking for somebody, you can also contact our email, and then we'll get that to the right people. Or you can hit us in the comments or any place like that. So yeah, that's how we end the show. As y'all know, this is a Let's Find Out. So yeah, let's find out.
For the pimps and hoes, yes it is. This for the dog pound trapper selling halves and hoes.
Nobody wanna make G shit. It's all G, man, you know what I'm saying?